Hi, this is Pastor Mike, and this is Perkstream for February 3rd, 2021. Hi, this is Pastor Mike, and this is Perkstream for February 3rd, 2021. Thanks for joining me here today on Perkstream. Today we're going to talk about the month of prayer, the month that we have designated as Perk Church to seek the Lord's face for the concerns of the church and our community. Now you might be asking the question, why should I pray and why should I join with others in prayer? And particularly, why should I fast? Well, these are all good questions, and I want to get right to those as we talk together about this month of fasting and prayer. As we've designated this month for fasting and prayer, well, thanks for joining me on Perkstream today. I'm glad we can share a few minutes together as we talk about the month of prayer that we have designated here. We've designated the month of February as a month of prayer and fasting. The first 7 days have been given to prayer and worship as we prepare our hearts for the next 21 days. And starting Monday, February 8th, we're going to begin a season of fasting and prayer. Now you might ask, well, why should I pray? Why should I pray with others? And why should I fast? And I want to hit all of these in quick succession just to encourage you that your part in this is important. We recognize that all is not well in the world, and so one response to things happening around us is to pray. Now we know that the COVID restrictions, that frustrates us. We know that there are some people in our church who are feeling the societal pressure not to share the good news of Jesus Christ. And while people want us to be good people, some people don't want to hear this message that Jesus saves and that we need saving. So we need the strength to stand firm. We need the strength to say, I am going to stand with Jesus at this time and be one of his followers. Paul wrote to the Ephesian church that he wanted them to stand firm. And he said to put on the full armor of God so that you may take your stand in the day of evil. And when you have done everything else, to stand. So we want to be able to stand, not because we have the power, because we don't have the power. The power comes from the Lord, and that comes as we seek his face. He is able to shine his light out through us. He is able to move his power from us inside out. And so we seek his face to look for that power in our lives. We don't stand strong because we are the power. We stand strong because he is the power in us. He is strong, particularly when we feel weak. So let me talk a little bit about why we are praying together. Praying together is something that we can do together, even if we can't all get together in one place. With COVID restrictions being what they are, and some people not able to join us because of concerns for their own health, prayer is something that we can participate in, even if we can't get to the same location to do it. And the great thing is that we can find creative ways to do that together. We can call each other on the phone. Easy to do. Some of us do have the technology to use our computers to see each other. But when we can't see each other and when we can't talk to one another, we can actually email or text prayers to one another. It is taking that spoken word and putting it into a visual sense. And remember, you can pray simply. You can pray short prayers either by email or by text. The separation is going to not work against us, because we'll have joined our hearts together in prayer, and the God who is present in all of our locations will work in us. And God's going to work to align our hearts as we seek his heart for the things that concern him, for Perk, for our community, and for the world. We will start off praying what is on our hearts and minds. That will be natural. You may pray something that I'm not praying. But as we proceed through the month together, I believe God's going to align our hearts, and he's going to bring us into a unity of thought and prayer as we listen for his Spirit to speak to us in our times of prayer. It's going to be God's work and our shared prayer time that will help us be sensitive to his work. Now the question may be, so then why the fasting? Well, the fasting is an action that we can take in foregoing food or some other activity in order to focus on the Lord. And we may be tempted to say, well, I can eat, but then I can also pray, or I can still have my computer time and I can pray. Well, the fasting is actually a direct action that says, I am going to set this thing aside because the value of the one that I am serving is greater than the value of this thing that's in front of me. And so we want to take time to demonstrate before the Lord and with each other that this thing that is happening, this time of fasting and prayer, is showing our heart for our church, our community, and our world. When people have fasted and prayed with this in mind, God has done incredible things. And we can read about those things when we read through the stories of Scripture, both the Old and New Testament, how God has moved in the lives of his people when they have taken time to do this thing called fasting and prayer, and they do it together. So this is my request. I'm asking you to join the 21 days of fasting and prayer, and to do it with the thought that God is going to align your heart with mine and with everybody else's at Perk so that we can do continued ministry. A couple of items in Perk news. Number one, if you are watching this and you have kids who might be at youth group tonight, just know that youth group has been canceled for tonight, and we'll be back hopefully next week, provided that we don't get a lot more snow. Second thing is, if you're looking for prayer tools, there will be prayer tools provided as part of our 21 days. One of the tools comes to you weekly with a weekly update, and it's a tool that Paula Marleski has found. Paula is also developing our prayer and fasting prompts, and those will be coming to us on a weekly basis starting this Sunday. And another thing is, I have 5 prayer boxes, and these are boxes that have prayer prompt cards in them, and they're great for having the family pray together, especially when the family doesn't know what or how to pray. So I want to encourage you, if you didn't get one, I still have 5 more. It's a limited quantity. When they're gone, they're gone. So plan to get a prayer box if you don't have one, and use it to pray together with others, with your family, maybe with kids, with nephews, nieces, grandkids. I encourage you to find this prayer tool. Well, may the Lord bless you and keep you today. May you find that you are preparing your heart in worship as we seek his face together. And may God align our hearts in such a way that we move forward in his grace and his strength. God bless you. Have a great day.